All right, guys. So like I said before, with the border crossing, I hadn't seen anything about any T groups, you know, those guys right there, crossing the border, even though there's plenty of reports from social media. The threat was always there, and I said as soon as I found out anything more factual, I present it. Well, supposedly they caught one. Someone that actually wanted to come here and make explosive devices. Oh yeah. So right past, guys, yes, we are still working on the studio, and I do apologize for the echo sound. We're still working on getting everything squared away. All right, so we do have a pop-up here for you guys. This one here it's all over mainstream media as of right now, so I just grabbed the first one that popped up just for his screenshots. This one here is from the Communist News Network. Feds investigate T claims after a Lebanese migrant is apprehended at U.S. southern border. Yeah. Now, I want you guys to keep an open mind and follow me on this, all right, because I'm looking at two different things here. Okay, first, what we're being told. Federal law enforcement officials have launched an investigation following a U.S. Border Patrol report of the apprehension of a man at the Texas border who said he was a member of a foreign T organization and had come to the United States in order to build explosive devices. Now with this, guys, there's more information here for you. Trying to find the guy's name. Bezel Ibabai. Eat that part. He's been interviewed by Tactical T Response Team after he made threats to border personnel. Abadibi, whatever. All right, here's his name, guys, for y'all. Y'all can pronounce that one. Was checked by medical staff and was asked what he was doing here in the U.S. The memo reads, he replied, "I'm going to try to make a Boomba." Let's put it that way. There we go. A Boomba. Now, with this, guys, that is the first factual information that is being presented. I shouldn't say factual. That is the first bit of information I've been able to track down to actually lay claim that we have extremist groups, you know, people that want to cause problems here in America. And yes, I'm watching what I say because of this platform here. They hit me with a medical misdiagnosis thing, medical misinformation. So I was talking about the WH operation. Yeah, you figure that one out. So yeah, they didn't give me a strike, but they did hit me. Yeah, this is a liberal platform, and if you don't play by the rules or skate around it, they come down on you. They do. Now with this is supposedly legit. Mainstream's covering it. Fox, all of them, CNN, they're all covering this. And I said before, if I saw where there's proof that, hey, we got these T groups coming into America through that southern border, I'll definitely let you know, because everything's been speculation. All right. Now, did I believe that stuff was going on? Absolutely, but didn't have any hard evidence for you. Well, that's supposedly it. Or, stick with me. Or are we about to see some type of new law that cracks down on surveillance of American citizens even more? You know, after the 9 September 11, yeah, you can't even say the date of what happened to this country back in 2011 without getting a smackdown from the platform. After that, you saw all these laws go into place, Patriot Act and stuff, where basically our privacy was invaded, all for the good of the country. Now, if any of you guys ever really researched what Snowden was talking about, I do mean Edward Snowden, about the surveillance and stuff here in American people, it's just a control issue. All right, 1984, that's all it is. Constantly watching you. All right. My big concern about this is that none of this is factual as far as what is being presented to the American people. because mainstream's all over it. I think it is going to be used to install new laws, new threats on our privacies as American citizens. Now, I've had people leave comments before, well, as long as you're not breaking the law, you have nothing to worry about. That's incorrect. You as an American citizen have your right to privacy. The government doesn't own you. Now, does the government try to own you? Absolutely. Has our government changed since the foundation of our government? Absolutely, it has. Even this platform, you got to watch what you say without getting the beat down from them. You guys can read between the line. If you're preppers, survivalists, outdoorsmen, you see what's going on. You need to be prepping as much as possible. Now, if the threat is legit and we have T groups crossing our border, you know, I watched a video, there should be a photo anyway, I couldn't get a hold of the video itself, of migrants, illegals. Let's just be straight up, illegals bum rushing the gates of El Paso. All right, just a bunch of them trying to get in here. Now, I'll give them this. They get took care of very well as far as what happens when they get here in the States. The government sets them up. Absolutely. And not in a bad way. You know, housing, EBT, all kind of stuff. While we have homeless here in America, American citizens that can't get on their feet. We got people dying in the streets. We got veterans that can't get housing, can't get medical care. Yeah, freaking awesome. There is such a huge disconnect with our government, guys, and the American people. They don't give squat about us, not one bit. Now, the rumor is that they've been getting in about 250,000 illegal migrants in America a year. And that's been going on the past couple years. Let's just say a few million in the last 10. And to think that there's nothing that slipped in, no groups have slipped in. We already know sleeper cells are a real thing. Even the FBI admits that. We have sleeper cells all over the place. Now, some of these places, they watch these camps. How many of them that they don't know about? They're too busy watching you and me, you know, getting our routine, putting our Alexas and everything else, you know, little voice activated internet stuff so they can monitor what you're doing in your home. You know, just like that Ring, the Ring cameras, all right? You know, some states are actually pushing and have authority, law enforcement do, to pull records off of your Ring photo if they have suspicion that there might be something going on in that area. So basically, we're just allowing them to have surveillance cameras in our homes, allowing them to have surveillance cameras in our neighborhood. You know, I've even heard stories of them using, I want to say it's Echo or Eco, one of the activation for the internet. And they'd listen to see who was in the house because they had suspected people that were fugitives. I know some will say, well, they need to crack down. It's still an invasion of privacy. People are missing that. What you do in your home is your right as an American citizen, as a human being, to be protected. That's your home. Not have a tyrannical government eavesdropping on everything you do. Now, with these, if you're watching on a computer, smart TV, anything that's connected, yeah, they have access to. You know, a lot of the old conspiracy theorists, when they came up with smart TV and the webcams and stuff like that, they said the government's going to use that to eavesdrop on people. You know, we saw it in sci-fi and stuff like that, all right? Well, it's an actual thing. We shut everything down. When we're not using stuff, batteries come out, things get unplugged. If it's wireless, well, unplug it. You know, I'm like a computer. So guys, with the possible threats from what we're seeing, mainstream is here. And of course with mainstream, take it as a grain of salt with everything, even here on the internet. We all had suspicion that there was T groups entering the country through the borders. Absolutely. Now they're saying that they actually have the proof of it for everybody. All right. if we take this as face value and say, yes, this is what's going on, you need to be stocking up, because this is just going to bring these wars to our front door. A lot of Americans, and I will say this because, hey, I'm an American too, we get used to our way of life here. We've got it good. Compared to other countries that are in civil conflict, constant wars, we've got it good. We actually have a lot of security because the normalcy of people in society keeps everybody else safe. You don't see people having to walk around with AKs and stuff like that just in case something crazy happens. Now, I know preppers like to carry things, and you have your God-given right to. We have our Second Amendment for a reason. And I highly recommend you to carry. Open carry, if you can conceal carry legally, definitely do that. But we have it easy here. If these groups have made it here, they've integrated themselves into our society, they've been looking at everything, and they start taking things out, our way of life changes massively. For those that like to scream and holler, bring on civil conflict, you're an idiot. I'll go ahead and say it one more time. You're an idiot. Millions of people would die. Millions of Americans, all right? Elderly, children, healthy. Millions of people will die. So what? You get to run around screaming and holler without any law or rules of law? I don't know how long you're going to make it. I mean, yeah, it's a fantasy pipe dream that's not going to end very well. Stuff like that happens. You're not getting food and groceries delivered, not getting fuel delivered, electricity going to be shut off. Well, people live without electricity for years. Yeah, they did. They were also conditioned for it too. Most of the people I read those comments from, I've actually met several of them, done some physical outdoor survival training with them, talking about they're ready for grid down, and they about pass out and fall out in the woods when we're doing our camp outs because it's so freaking hot down here in Florida. Your body's not conditioned for living without power, living without the amenities that are out there. Can it be done? Absolutely. But it's going to be hell. It is. No ifs and buts about it. So for those that pray for civil conflict, well, I hope your prayers never get answered. I don't want that to happen. Do I want things to change in our government? Absolutely I do. I do. But not at the cost of millions of lives. I know there's going to be those that want to comment about Civil War, the North versus South, Revolutionary War. Yeah, great points. Great points. Population density was not the same. Weaponry was not the same. Weaponry was pretty much equal across the border. You're screaming for civil conflict because you got an AR and 1,000 rounds, whatever. When the government comes to put down the hammer and drive an M1 Abrams through your neighborhood, and there won't be no UN or Geneva Convention for that because it's a civil conflict. Just best of luck. Best of luck. I know. Probably there's a lot of subscribers there because I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of how we're going to overthrow and put over some other asshole in charge. I mean, do y'all really think about it? Really think about it. You're gonna overthrow, all right? And who's gonna be in charge now? All politicians are practically politicians. I don't trust a single one of them. I don't. I don't trust Trump. I don't trust DeSantis. I don't trust any politician. I know there's diehard Trump saviors out there. He's the man. He's a politician. And then I've seen the internet groups, internet prepper groups. Now some of them have developed large groups, large militia groups, and they've already divided up the country so when civil conflict happens, they will run and operate this state underneath their rule of law. And this other group that's attached to them will run this state underneath their rule of law. So you're trading in one government dictatorship, tyrannical government, for a whole bunch of bands of militia groups that is their way or the highway, or we put a bullet in you. It sounds like a great idea too. I don't have any answers for you guys. I just want you to really think things through, especially the ones banging on their chest that they want this to happen, want that to happen. And a lot of them actually want it to happen, but they don't want to be any participation in it either. They want someone else to do it for them. Yeah, don't worry. I've seen you guys here too, screaming and hollering that, you know, when, what was that group? They got in trouble for doing the marching and stuff, the DC march, and was it Proud Boys? I think it was. They had went up to one city and they just walked around with their, you know, their AR battle rattle on and stuff like that. And no violence happened, which I was praying no violence would happen, because I already knew what would happen if it did. And I saw the whole slew of internet people screaming and hollering, you didn't do anything, y'all were supposed to do this, while they sat on their ass in their house wanting someone else to get shot or shoot somebody. A lot of keyboard warriors out there. Am I happy with what's going on with the government? No. But I'm also not going to be very happy when there is no government, because I've seen those too. If there is no government and working military to protect this country, we will have such a massive invading force here, and it'll be multiple countries. Y'all want to speak Chinese? I don't. Y'all want to speak Russian? Neither do I. And for the Wolverines, yeah, Hollywood's awesome. Hollywood is awesome. It is. I keep seeing the comment, well, in Afghanistan, one man with an AK-47 could stop a whole platoon or a whole brigade, which I don't think is true, but a whole platoon of men from advancing because they knew their area. No, we had rules. U.S. military had rules. They couldn't just open fire on possible civilians in the area. That's why one AK could stop a whole battalion or platoon of men, because they didn't have the authority to just bombard the crap out of it because of people were embedded with civilians. So the philosophy that one person with one rifle is going to stop an army is stupid. There, I said it. All right, guys. So like I said, still working in the studio. I just want to kind of breathe some common sense in some of the things I see. With this threat, yeah, there's a threat there. But I am worried about the U.S. government coming down and cracking down on us even harder on our privacy. All right, guys. Speak to y'all later.